Okay, that was part 4 to cut off. Now we're at part 5. So I remember going to court where my mom and dad went, and they were on one side, and I was on the other um, side. And basically, I was there to, I guess, plead to my parents to come home. Because I really don't think that they were going there to plead for me to come home. Um, but I do remember being um, in court and then being told that I was going to go to a youth service bureau, and that was like a transition to going back home, um, which I feel was worse than the psych unit, because at the youth service bureau, which was literally right down the street from my parents' house, um, you had to walk a certain way, point your feet a certain way. You had to have shower shoes on in the shower. They came in with flashlights like every 15 minutes in your room to put it on your face to make sure you were still there and or living. I remember you had to sit with your feet down and then back, like it had to be back to the couch at all times, or your chair that you were sitting in. Um, I remember them taking us to school, and for some reason at the school, they separate out all of the YSB kids. So we had to ride in this big gold long van, said Youth Service Bureau, so like everybody knew. And then they drop you off, and then like when you go to lunch, you are with all of those youth service people. Um, Also wanted to shout out to Abby, who I was in there with, another friend of mine from high school. Um, and so I was in there. That was very strange and weird. It felt almost more like at home because everything was more structured and very just things you take for granted on the normal world, that you just cannot do in there. So I remember finally getting out of there and going back home. And then when I finally did get back home and transition into that kind of regular life, uh, things did not ever seem to get back to being better because it was always thrown up in my face, always going back to the past.